morning, guys. I am all ready for today. I gotta go to the doctor's this morning. Anyway, here's my outfit. It's my Calvin Klein boots with my skinny jeans, my black shirt, and my sweater. And that's it. Oh, and my leg warmers. So yeah, that's my outfit for today. I'm just waiting for my neighbor to come over because my neighbor Damien is gonna give me a ride to the doctor, and then I'll be going. Hey guys, so my neighbor had to cancel giving me a ride because his wife had to go to the doctor's, and so I had to reschedule mine, but I'm gonna go tomorrow at 3:15. So now I'm just going to watch a couple of YouTube videos so I can get motivated and then get on to editing. Okay, this is a little bit hard for me to talk to you guys about because I've been dealing with it for a really long time. My whole life I've been dealing with ADHD. My whole life I grew up, people were telling me to shut up, that I talk too much, that I'm annoying, that I was too hyper, that I was just an annoying person to be around. And so my whole life growing up was kind of shitty. I used to get made fun of. As you can tell, I'm really pale on my skin. And my whole life, most of the kids I went to school with actually used to make fun of me and call me names. One of the main names people actually know me by when I get a hold of them on like Facebook or something, I have to like tell them most of the time that I used to be the girl they called mayonnaise, sadly. And it's really hard to talk about because it was very frustrating my whole life. But I mean, now I don't really care what people think of me because I know that I'm beautiful and that I am who I am, no matter what people think of me or how they want me to be. I'm my own person and nobody can change me. Nobody can make me be any way I am. And people can call me or other really bad words, but you know what? I am who I am. I enjoy my life. I'm a great mother. I take care of my kids. I might be divorced, and me and my ex-husband had a very rough few last years of our marriage, but we are on good terms now to where we can talk and discuss the kids and stuff like that and not scream and yell at each other anymore because it got bad for a little while. You know, life after divorce is definitely stressful. It's very hard to deal with, and it's something that you don't really know how to handle. You just move on with life and you do what you got to do, and you just live it one day at a time as best as you can. You know, I've done jobs that I haven't wanted to do. You know, I've worked at like fast foods, I've danced in strip clubs, I have done all kinds of stuff. I've busted my ass. I've been a waitress for hours on end and had to work like 12-hour shifts and just to make tips, and it was hard. And you know, there was times that I worked double shifts, like 16-hour shifts, and it was a lot of work. But having ADHD is probably one of the hardest things. I have so much energy pent up that people call me a drug addict or other things, like I do all kinds of stuff, and that's not the case. I don't do drugs. I don't do anything crazy. I just am a big ball of energy. I just sit at home and hang out with my kids and clean my house and do my stuff. And you know, honestly, I will show you the way I get rid of all the crazy energy I have. It is the best way I can tell anybody. And if you have as much energy as me, I guarantee you should do it. Buy an ab lounge. When I first started getting into shape after my kids, it was September 2005. And I got a breast augmentation done in March 2005, and it has been 10 years this year. Wow, it's been a while. Wish I could get them done again, but finances don't let me. One day I will. I got a breast augmentation done in 2005, and then in August 2005 I got my tubes tied and stuff, and I had a hydroablation done because I had cancer of the uterus and cervix that I had a bunch of really bad cells, and just I went through a lot of pain and stress and just a lot of stuff I went through just to stay healthy for my kids and for me. I changed my whole diet. I stopped eating fast food. I started working out. I started taking better care of myself. And I never had to take chemo. I just started drinking smoothies and just eating proper foods and just doing everything I could to take care of myself. I beat it. Last time I went to the doctors, I actually am ready for another checkup, but I went to the doctors last year and they told me that I have no signs of cancer, that my body is healed, and I'm doing well. So yay for me. I'm super happy about that. But it was a struggle, worrying if I was going to be healthy for my kids or if I was not going to deal with stress between a fight with my ex-husband or how I was going to make rent or pay my bills before me and my husband got married. We struggled really bad and it was very hard. And life does get hard. And when you go through divorce and you lose everything you ever knew and you start over with everything you've never known, it is a very hard thing to handle. And it's crazy. I have dealt with probably more than most people should. And I've come out on top every time because I refuse to fail. I refuse to fail no matter how hard I struggle, no matter what I go through. I will always pick myself up and I will always make it no matter what because I refuse to let anything win. I refuse to die. I refuse to not live my life happy. And when I was unhappy in my marriage and things, me and my ex-husband got separated and I got divorced, and it was very hard changing my life from what I went through and what I used to know. And I was married for 9 years, or almost 9 years. In June would have been 9 years, and I got divorced in January. So I was married for almost 9 years, and it was a very, for the I'd say first 5 or 6 years, we had a great marriage. We had a wonderful marriage, a great life. I love my children. He gave me 2 wonderful children that are the most important things in my life to me. They are the most important people that will ever matter to me, as well as my husband now. I love them all so much. And oh, wow, this is rambling. So, life after divorce. It is crazy. But I wanted to be happy, and me and my ex-husband just weren't meant to be together anymore. We grew apart. We got married when I was very young. I was 20 years old. And I only knew him 10 days when I got married, literally 10 days. And technically it was 3 weekends. And 3 weekends later, he asked me to marry him. I said yes. We drove to Vegas, which I lived at the time, and we got married. And I was married for almost 9 years and grew up pretty much. I was a 20-year-old girl. I grew up after having kids and, learning about life. Basically, we grew apart. And so I moved on and I moved out and I picked myself back up, and it was the hardest thing I ever had to do. I was on welfare for a while. I never got cash assistance. I only got food stamps because I needed help with food. I will be 100% honest about that. I've never once got cash assistance because I always believed that I could make money for myself and that there were other people that needed it more than I did. So I never asked for that. It was just, I think, more of a stubborn thing. And I didn't even get full child support for the first few years. My ex-husband only gave me $400 a month for the first 5 years for 2 kids. At the time, I guess he believed that was good enough, and I didn't want to argue because I just was happy having my children. It's not about the money with me. It was more that I just wanted to be able to be with my kids full time, and I never stop him from seeing his kids. He sees them anytime he has time. He's a fireman, so his schedule is very difficult for him to come out and see them, and he also lives in Las Vegas, so it makes it difficult. But he does see them in the summer. They go and stay with them for about a month and a half, depending on their schedule, depending on his schedule. They see him at Christmas and Thanksgiving, depending on the year. We alternate. He comes out for birthdays or they go out there. just depends, you know, we both decide, you know, what's best for the kids, and we have a good arrangement when it comes to the children. We're trying to work on better arrangements so they can see him more. Right now we're both financially just strapped because he just built a new house, and I'm, you know, just getting back on my feet since my husband got in an accident last year and lost our car, so we had to get another car. And now this car has a flat tire, so that is just stressful. As you can tell, I'm all shaky. This stuff kind of gets me going, but I figured it was time to talk about it. I needed to get some things off my chest, and I figured this was the best way to do it. So this is going to be a pretty long video because I can talk for days. You know, usually I kind of don't really have much to talk to you guys about. And I'm actually going to get a tripod because I can't stop shaking. Okay, now I'm back. I got a tripod. Okay, let's get you guys just perfectly adjusted. Alright, for those of you that don't know what ADHD is, I have attention deficit hyperactive disorder, which means I have probably more energy than a 5th grade class, and my mind always races 24/7. It never stops. When I sleep, I'm constantly thinking. I rarely get sleep. I have insomnia like crazy. I constantly wake up in the middle of the night, tossing and turning, thinking of things I have to do. It's pretty hard to deal with at times. It gets to the point of me having so much energy, I shake really bad. I just nonstop. I don't take medication for it. I used to. For 3 years, I took Adderall. I used to be focused. I used to be able to work and just calm down and do everything I was supposed to do, and, you know, get everything done and do all the things I was supposed to do during the day, which is a very hard task for me. Just to get the energy up to do my dishes is hard because I have so much energy that I'm bouncing off the walls here and there and everywhere. So when I start to do the dishes, I'll start doing dishes, and I've literally left the water running in the kitchen while I ran and started doing the laundry, and then took some laundry up to my room to start putting that away, and then I forgot that I was putting that away, and I went and put some laundry in my boys' room, and I forgot that I was putting laundry away, so I started cleaning up their room because their room was a mess. And then once I started cleaning up their room, then I started taking their beds apart because their beds were dirty, and then I went back to the laundry, and then I realized the water in the kitchen was running. So it was just like a big runaround of getting things done and not getting things done, basically. I was constantly doing 25 to 30 things at once and never finishing anything at all. And so I'd never get any sleep because I'd always try and stay up to finish those things. And so it was a never-ending process of stress. I'm really nervous telling you guys about this because it's really hard to talk about. Being a tattoo model, it actually is really good because it keeps me very energetic for the photo shoots. It's a lot of fun. I'm really easy to work with. I'm very motivated. One thing about being ADHD is I'm an extreme perfectionist. Not getting things done is very hard, if you understand that. I'm an extreme perfectionist, so when I'm doing something, I do it right. Every time. I have to do it right. And if I don't get it right, I will restart it and do it over and over. And I will try to make sure it's done right. I have to make sure that everything is done perfect. And as you can tell, I have all kinds of flaws that drive me nuts. The wrinkles, for one, I will be 35 years old in April. Wow. Yeah, I was born in 1980. I will be 35 years old. I have 2 kids. I'm on my 2nd marriage, this time to my best friend. I have 2 puppies that I love like crazy, and they are my world. They're 2 Yorkies. My 1 Yorkie, Roxy, she's about to go into heat, so I have to keep an eye on her because we want to breed her next year because we want little puppies running around our house. We were going to sell our puppies, but we decided that we're actually going to keep them all. So no matter how many she has, we're just going to keep them. So I'm hoping my husband gets a raise or a promotion because having more puppies is expensive because we have insurance for our dogs. Oh, by the way, if any of you know, I mean, I'm not a sponsor, but if any of you know, I'd just like to let you know, we have insurance for our dogs, and it's the most amazing insurance. So if you have an animal that you love super well and you have to take it to the vet or something and the dog's sick, you get 90% of that money back. If you spend money on a dog, it took me months it took months for it to come back, and I didn't even know that it was supposed to come back. I totally freaking spaced it, but I paid $400 when my dog ate some plant or it was some flowers, I think it was, that my friend got me or something, or it was a weed or something when we went hiking, but my dog ate something and it made him really sick and lethargic and just very ill, and so we rushed him over to the vet, and it cost us almost $400 for like him to get IVs and just testing and all kinds of stuff, and it was horrible because we were broke as ever. And luckily my friend at the time, my friend Marcus, had the money and helped me at the time, gave me the $400 to help me pay my bills because I had to use bill money to pay it. And but like 3.5 months later I got a check for that $400, which was awesome because I actually needed it for a bill at that time, so it came back at the perfect time. But it was just grateful. So it's expensive. I end up paying for my 2 Yorkies. They're purebred Yorkshire Terriers, and I pay $121 a month for both of them, and that's full coverage, everything, 90% back when you pay for anything. So they're playing right now. My little Yorkies, yes you are. That's Roxy and Roro. They're the funnest little dogs ever. I swear to God, I've never had dogs before, and they are just the coolest dogs ever. I always had like big dogs when I was younger, and they were just, I don't know, the big dogs are just like, I never got attached as much to a big dog. So it was just crazy. And since I got these guys, like, they're my babies. I love them as much as my kids. And I know that's probably bad to say because they're an animal, but to me, they're my children. They literally sleep in my bed. Baby. Oh, baby. You sleep in Mama's bed. Do you sleep in me? You sleep in my bed. Yes. Where you going, baby girl? Hi. Hi. Hi, Mama girl. Hi. Hi, Mama. Hi, little Mama. Yeah, pretty girl. Being ADHD is really stressful at times. It can be very tiring. It can wear you out. It has its pros and cons. The pros side of being ADHD is I have so much energy. I'm always ready to go most of the time. It takes me about a few hours to get ready, but my body is always ready to go. Makeup wise, on the other hand, not as much. So yeah. Dr. Pepper, guys, that's the drink. Stop it. Be nice, no fighting. Mommy's making a video. I need to dye my hair. My roots are coming in. This is what my natural color looks like, guys. When it comes in, it'll look, I don't know. Give me your advice and tell me what you think. I'm thinking about letting my hair grow back out blonde, which will take a little over a couple years. Come on now. Neighbor's here. So my neighbor finally left, so where was I? Let's see. I think we were talking about having ADHD, basically the pros and cons, the difference between having ADHD and not having it, the difference between being on the medication and not being on it. Basically, it is being on the medication. Yes, when I first started taking it, it was very helpful. I was able to be a lot more motivated. I could get things done, but then it has its cons as well. When you're motivated and doing all those things and stuff, you forget the things you're supposed to do, like taking the time to eat properly, nourish yourself and give yourself water, hydrate yourself. You basically forget to do all those things and just work the whole time. You work and get everything you're supposed to do done. You forget to take a drink of water in like 8 hours. That's how it was for me as well. Anyway, it would focus me on everything I needed to do and forget everything else that didn't mean that much to me. At the time, hydration and nourishment didn't mean shit. So I took it for about 3 years. I worked out the whole time I took it. So I literally did 400 sit-ups a day. I went to the gym 2 hours a day. I went to school for 8.5 hours. I would take care of my kids. I would make sure dinner was on the table for my ex-husband. Well, at the time when we were married. I would just, I was extremely motivated. And then me and him were going through a rough time. I got divorced. I was working, so I had to stay on it so I could stay motivated and work. And I started working 2 jobs at a bar as a bartender, and then I worked at a sushi place when I moved out by my mom. I've done a lot of different things, went through a lot of different struggles, and it was just a really hard time for me going through it. As I don't know if I would have gotten through everything that I went through if I wasn't ADHD, because I had a lot more motivation, I believe. I had a lot more energy to do things when I didn't have time to sleep. I had a lot more stress to push me where I needed to go instead of break me down. It did the opposite. It pushed me harder to do the things I needed to do. And so I got things done, and I worked as hard as I could, and I busted my butt. And for a while I worked on Amazon and Google, and I just did analytics, and I did AdSense, and I did all kinds of things so that I could just make bill money for a really long time. That's all I was doing for years. And then my best friend, who is now my husband, because he taught me basically all of that, because he works for globe.gov, which is through NASA, and he's basically a system administrator, but his job is community support team, but he does also the system administrator job, because the system administrator transferred to another better position, and so now until they hire a new one, he's filling in, which is awesome because he's getting tons of experience. Anyway, back to the whole ADHD thing. I'm proud of him. It has been hard, but I think there are a lot more pros to having ADHD than there are cons, because for one, the cons are for me, as a person of having ADHD, for me, I don't get much sleep. I can't focus as easy ever, especially since I don't take the medication now. I haven't taken it for years, and I can't focus ever unless I try really hard. When it comes to editing my videos, I'm totally motivated and I bust butt really easy because I'm extremely focused. I get it done. But since I got puppies, actually, it's been a little bit hard because my little puppies like to distract me and want to play tug-of-war every time I sit at my computer. So I am constantly playing tug-of-war with them. I still get distracted when I'm working and busy to where I don't eat or I don't do stuff. So I just try to stay focused throughout the day, but I try to make sure that I get up and eat in the morning, and I try to do sit-ups. I didn't record them this last week, but I did do them. I did 250 again. I just didn't have time to record it because I was busy. The pros of having ADHD is I have a lot of energy. I can do field trips with my kids. I can go play outside with them. I can run around with them. I can be active. I can just do a lot of fun things and spend time with them. I love to go hiking and just walking for hours and hours. I love it. I love just when the weather is nice and it's beautiful. If I can get my kids out there, I love taking them hiking for miles and miles. But it is really hard to get my boys out there. They are more techie and they love being on the computer and learning and just being technological. They learn a lot. Their stepdad also, since he works for NASA, they just take a lot in interest in what he's doing. So they do a lot of, technological stuff. Like my oldest son, he published a book when he was in 3rd grade. Hi. You want to say hi? Say hi. Bro, say hi. Say hi. Say hi to the camera. Oh, you give mommy kisses. Come here. Say hi. Say hi. You trying to bite me? She is being feisty. What are you doing? You guys are crazy. I know I repeat myself a lot, so sorry about that, but that's one of the flaws of being ADHD. I tend to repeat myself because I forget what I say. So that's one habit of how I used to annoy a lot of people when I was younger. When I didn't know I was ADHD, I would repeat myself a lot, and so they would get mad at me for repeating myself, and it was because I forgot everything that I said. A bad habit of forgetting. I have a really good memory when it comes to numbers and stuff like that, but it is bad when it comes to remembering what I have to say at the moment that I need to say it. I just lose it. I lose everything that I have to say, usually. So that's why it's kind of good that I do this vlog and I record now and stuff, because it helps me remember and it helps me just see that I can be motivated and do things and not just feel like I'm never doing anything. Because one other thing about being ADHD is you always feel like you're not doing enough. and you're not getting enough done. Even though I do so much stuff in the day, I feel like sometimes when I just sit down to watch TV, I feel like I'm being lazy, so I get up and go do stuff. I can't just sit in one spot for too long. Like 10 minutes and I have to get up and do something. I'm lucky to watch a couple episodes of a show, then it's just, hey, stop it. Roxy. Sorry about that. My puppies are being crazy. Oh, okay, what was I saying? Now I lost what I was saying. Basically, I have a tendency of forgetting what I have to say. See? There you go. Right there. Example A. They basically suck. I can't talk today. Oh. So, yeah. So, okay, well, while I can't remember what I was saying, in distraction, what do you think of me going blonde? Guys, you gotta tell me. Do you think I'd look good with blonde hair back again? If I had just blonde hair. What do you think? I think the blonde shows my wrinkles worse. So should I dye it one more time and let it grow out, or should I just let it grow out? Let me know what you think. Just so you know, if I do let it grow out, it will look like a skunk for a little while. So all you people that, if anybody from high school watches, now you got a new nickname for me. Instead of Mayonnaise Girl, Skunk Girl. Anyway, the difference is I don't care anymore. So, yeah. When you're ADHD, you have to find somebody that can tolerate you. It's really hard to find somebody that can be around you and tolerate you, because for me being ADHD, I'm very possessive. I think I have obsessive compulsive disorder when it comes to things that I want to be around or that I want. When it comes to people or anything, somebody that I like or anything that I really love, like things that I just value and things that I find just appealing, or just, I don't even know how to describe it. Basically, my best friend, I married him. I can spend 365 days, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I can spend however many days it is, like, I don't even care, an extra day, an extra hour. I can spend every moment with him, not get tired of him, and just, he probably gets tired of me, but he is very well at tolerating me. And so, for a long time, I think the reason why I wasn't happy in my marriage before, why I wasn't happy in my life growing up, is because I didn't know that I was ADHD until I was 27 years old. And that was when my first divorce ended. My first marriage ended. When I found out I was ADHD, my first marriage ended. Because I realized that I needed to find somebody who could understand me better. I needed to be with somebody who could tolerate me, basically. My ex-husband, it's a lot of pressure to put on a person with what I have. It is a disease, and it is a lot to deal with, and it is very hard to deal with at times. I can be very obsessive, very compulsive, and I can be very needy, and I can be very I like to have him right next to me and hold him close and never let him go, and that's how I am. I'm very obsessive about stuff that I want and need and love, and when it's mine, it's mine. And it's mine. I don't want to share. And so and for some people, they love it, and other people, they think they love it, and then they learn that they don't love it at all. They hate it. And it becomes a passionate hate. It becomes an anger inside a person, and you can drive a person crazy. I know I've driven myself crazy at times, if not other people. I'm sure I have plenty. There are a lot of ups and downs to having ADHD. Like, you have to find, if you want to be in a relationship, you have to find somebody that is very patient, that is just extremely willing to understand what you're going through, not judge you, or you have to basically find somebody who's willing to just understand how long it takes you to do things sometimes, to when it comes to learning, I can learn it. I'm extremely fast when it comes to watching somebody do something right in front of me. And if they show me something once, I can do it. No problem. But you give me a book and expect me to read and do something, it's going to take me 5 or 6 times to read that thing to understand what I'm reading. And so I'm a visual learner, extremely well visual learner, but man, it sucks when I want to take classes online. I really want to go back to school one day. I just don't know what I want to do yet. I'm not sure. I know that I will be 35 and I know I'm not getting any younger, but you know what? Life for me is, I plan on making it as long as possible and enjoying it as much as possible. That was one reason I got divorced. I was unhappy because we were just two different people, and he didn't want to believe that, my ex-husband didn't want to believe that me and him were not meant to be anymore, that we grew apart. He didn't want to believe it, so we fought a lot because of it. We were just not meant to be. 9 years was a very long time for us, or almost 9 years, and I didn't want my kids to grow up in an unhealthy environment where there was a lot of yelling and screaming and arguing and anger. And so, sorry about that. My puppies will not leave me alone. So, if you are ADHD and you're in a relationship and you're with somebody that is not very patient, not understanding, it will be a very difficult relationship. It will be very hard for them to understand what you're going through, and they will think that you're just complaining or just being annoying or just all kinds of things that you, in your head, you're only saying one time, and to them you're saying like 20 million times over and over, because in your head that's all you can think about is like if you have a headache or if you hurt, or like for me, I'm allergic to every type of painkiller I can think of besides Tylenol and Advil. I guess it's ibuprofen, I guess. Tylenol and ibuprofen I can take. I can't even take 800 milligram ibuprofens because they make me sick. I can take like the over-the-counter stuff. I'm allergic to Vicodin, Darvocet, and all that other painkiller stuff. So when I've had a broken foot, I took Advil and had an ice bandage around it. When I have had wisdom teeth pulled, I have taken Advil liquid gels. When I have been in pain with all the cancer problems and the stress and just everything, I have not taken anything. I've suffered. And I've struggled through it all. And it is hard to deal with being allergic to everything, not being able to take anything. I'm allergic to a lot of antibiotics as well. So when I get sick, there's a lot of stuff I can't take. When I've had like the flu and stuff, I'm pretty much screwed. I just have to suffer through it. There's a lot of things that I can't do, but I've never limited myself because of it. Refuse to limit myself. I refuse to not go outside and not go hiking and not enjoy life. And if I catch a cold, well, hell, I'll be sick. I'll catch a cold. I refuse to let life limit me no matter what I've gone through. I refuse to suffer no matter how hard life gets, because life can always be worse. When I first got divorced, I was homeless. Well, I first had a place to live, and I had a place to live from when I left my ex-husband. It was April 3rd, 2008, and the day I moved out, and I got a house that same day. I found a place on Craigslist. I had that house till September, and like September 10th, I think it was, Roller's birthday, and we lost the place. We were living out of our car for a few months. We lived in different parking lots during, like, we'd park at casinos because I lived in Vegas at the time. My kids lived with their dad at the time. I'd get to see them every other weekend. It was the hardest time in my life to ever deal with. I don't like talking about this. It was really hard, but I want you guys to know me so that you can see what I've been through and kind of get to know me a little better. I might not tell you all of it now because it's just very overwhelming, but I will as time goes on. Hopefully in your questions I can answer them too. If you guys ask some questions in the comments, I can definitely answer them. I have no problem answering them. I'm an open book, so I have no problem telling you guys anything. Hopefully one day I will write a book. But I just wanted to be happy in life, and I just wanted my kids, and I just wanted to find my happiness and find out what I could do and what I'm capable of. when I left my ex-husband, I became a model in June 2008, and I've been modeling ever since. Roller helped me start modeling. I did my very first modeling gig on Craigslist. I met David Rice. He was an amazing photographer. He's really awesome to work with. He still lives in Vegas. You should look him up. He's amazing. That was it. I did my first shoot at Red Rock in Las Vegas, and I had the most amazing time that it became my passion. Which having ADHD also helped, because having a passion about something during the time of me being homeless and not having anything, it kept me motivated to strive toward just bettering my life and doing better and being a better person for my children and for myself, and just to become somebody who I can look in the mirror and be happy to say that I did it. Went through the hardest times in my life. In those times, I lost track with my family. I didn't really talk to any of them. A lot of them turned their back on me, and it was hard, but I don't judge any of them for anything, and there was a lot of family that wanted to help but couldn't. So, and I don't blame any of them for it. I've made my choices in life, and I've went through my life with my hardships and my choices, and I have to answer for those one day, you know, and what I've done in my life and where I've been and who I've met and everything. I can't talk. It's a hard subject. Basically, having ADHD, though, it has its pros and cons, but I believe for me it has worked out for the better and not to be on medication, because being on medication is just, I don't like the pros of that compared to the cons. The not eating, the not wanting to sleep, the being tired all the time and always busy and always being motivated but never getting to relax is one of the biggest regrets of taking the medication, because I was always so tired. But I was always wide awake while I was tired, so I just never stopped. It's just really bad for your body. It's just a horrible medication. It's just not good for your body itself. My body's probably wearing itself down just because of all the energy I have already. And so I guess it's supposed to be better for me, but I prefer to figure out other ways like meditation or hot tea. Hot tea works really well. They have like sleepy time tea that helps you relax. That stuff is amazing. It actually does work. Yeah, so now I'm gonna go edit some video, and I will come back to you guys a little later because I don't know what else to talk about. And I'll talk more about me and my life. I just kind of need some questions. If you guys want to know more, just ask me and leave the answers or the questions in the comments below, and I'll answer them as much as I can. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you in a bit.
Bye, YouTube. Bye, YouTube.
See you later, YouTube.
See you later.
All right, Roller, you have any kind words to say? Leave them with some wisdom. You have any wisdom you want to pass on to the world? Or to at least the 5 people that watch the videos? No, just kidding. Any words of wisdom?
Don't underestimate the directories system.
My words of wisdom is, don't eat yellow snow. Anyways. So yeah, if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down there, right down there. And go ahead and click that video at the end so you can see the video from the day before. If you guys like this, don't forget to like it. No. Subscribe and come back and see us because we log in every day. Bye! I totally forgot that I was getting a grocery order today. So the Walmart guy is here finally, yay. Good morning, guys. Oh my God, it's already 3 o'clock. We just decided to take the puppies for a walk for a little bit. Supposed to be nice doggies.
Other side?
The boys are about to go to bed. What are you doing?
John was watching a YouTube video and it's really hilarious.
If you haven't already, hit that subscribe and come back and see me again. Bye.